our country itself would be under threat, and it was very nearly under threat. I was very proud to have knocked out the Iran nuclear deal by President Barack Hussein Obama. That was a horrible, horrible, dangerous document. They would have had nuclear weapons 3 years ago, and they would have used them. But I'll not let that happen. For almost 47 years, this regime has been attacking the United States and killing Americans. Every time you see someone with missing arms and legs or a face that's been absolutely shattered violently, it was almost certainly caused by an Iran roadside bomb. They were put there by General Soleimani, who was the father of the roadside bomb. Very proudly, he thought, but I terminated him in my first term. This was our last best chance to strike what we're doing right now and eliminate the intolerable threats posed by this sick and sinister regime. And they are indeed sick and sinister. Our objectives are clear. First, we're destroying Iran's missile capabilities, and you see that happening on an hourly basis, and their capacity to produce brand new ones, and pretty good ones they make. Second, we're annihilating their Navy. We've knocked out already 10 ships. They're at the bottom of the sea. Third, we're ensuring that the world's #1 sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon, never going to have a nuclear weapon. I said that from the beginning. They're never going to have a nuclear weapon. They were on the road to getting one legitimately through a deal that was signed foolishly by our country. And finally, we're ensuring that the Iranian regime cannot continue to arm, fund, and direct terrorist armies outside of their borders. And we thought we had a deal, but then they backed out. And they came back, and we thought we had a deal, and they backed out. I said, you can't deal with these people. You've got to do it the right way. Today, we grieve for the 4 heroic American service members who have been killed in action and send our love and support to their families. In their memory, we continue this mission with ferocious, unyielding resolve to crush the threat this terrorist regime poses to the American people, and a threat indeed it is. We have the strongest and most powerful, by far, military in the world, and we will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay. Whatever it takes, we will always, and we have right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it. Whatever somebody said today, they said, oh, well, the president wants to do it really quickly. After that, he'll get bored. I don't get bored. There's nothing boring about this. Do you agree with that, Pete? I don't think there's anything, Mr. General. I think there's nothing boring about it. Somebody actually said from the media, I think he'll get bored after about a week or two. No, we don't get bored. I never get bored. If I got bored, I wouldn't be standing here right now, I guarantee you that, to go through what I had to go through. We also projected 4 weeks to terminate the military leadership, and as you know, that was done in about an hour, so we're ahead of schedule there by a lot. But please join me in thanking every American service member who bravely is standing in harm's way. They really are incredible, and I just want to thank you. We have a lot of them right here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We have a lot of great service members here with us, too, in this beautiful building. Isn't it beautiful? We're adding on to the building a little bit. We're improving the building. See that nice drape? When that comes down, right now you see a very, very deep hole. But in about a year and a half from now, you're going to see a very, very beautiful building. And there's your entrance to it right there. In fact, it looks so nice, I think I'll save money on the doors, because it can't get more beautiful than that. I picked those drapes in my first term. I always like gold, but I think we can save a lot of money. I just I just saved curtains. But, and it'll be spectacular. It'll be the most beautiful ballroom. I believe it's because I built many a ballroom. I believe it's going to be the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world. And when you hear all that hammering out there, you know why the First Lady is not thrilled exactly. She said, will the pile drivers ever stop? You know, they go from 6 in the morning till 11:30 in the evening. Can you imagine? Here? You know what? To me, that's a beautiful sound. She doesn't like it. I love it. You know what? To me, other than here, because we're donating it, not a penny to the taxpayer. It'll be under budget, ahead of schedule. It'll be $400 million or less. Most people say $400 million or more. No, it'll be less. But when I hear that sound, that beautiful sound behind me, it means money, so I like it. But my wife isn't thrilled. She said, this is getting crazy. I said, don't worry about it. We'll be all finished up in a few months. But now for the reason that we're gathered this morning to recognize the unsurpassed courage of 3 really incredible American heroes, 1 living and 2 no longer with us. So together, we recognize the exceptional valor of Master Sergeant Roderick Edmonds. And maybe I could ask your families to stand because they're beautiful families. I got to meet them, and please. So Staff Sergeant Michael Ollis and Command Sergeant Major Terry Richardson, as they receive our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor. And we're pleased to be joined by Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. He's busy. He's busy, very busy guy. In fact, I said, if you want, Pete, you can avoid it. General Raisin Kane also. And they said, we don't avoid this one. This is one you wouldn't avoid for anything, right? So we appreciate that you're here. Secretary of Veterans Affairs, who's doing an incredible job, Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins. Doug, thank you. You stand up, Doug. You're doing such a good job. 92% approval rating. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, who's known as Raisin Kane. I liked him when I heard that name, Raisin Kane. I said, if it's true, you're my guy. And it's true. It just turned out it's very true. He's a great guy and a great general. Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, and Army Chief of Staff, Randy George. Thank you. Thank you both, Dan. As well as Senators Tom Cotton, Bill Hagerty. You guys were great on television this weekend. I'll tell you what, can't have a better representative than both of you. Thank you very much. And Representatives Tim Burchett, Jack Bergman, and Nicole Maliotakis. And we have a few others sitting here, but I'm not going to go through it because we have far more important people to honor today. Oh, we have Tom Homan. I got to at least mention Tom Homan. I would be a stand-up, Tom. What a job. Zero people coming in. We had millions and millions of people pouring into our country now. I'm not even sure I can believe this number is 0, but it is given out by Democrats. Democrats from the left, and they're rated for the last 9 months. We had 0 people.
Okay, you've been listening to U.S. President Donald Trump again speaking right now on the updated conflict in the Middle East, at least at this point. So we heard again a little bit from him earlier now too, and introducing other dignitaries. If and when he continues to talk about the conflict, we will go back to him. Welcome again to CTV News Channel. I'm Matt Scooby. We're going to continue our coverage with the latest on the Middle East, too, where U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth says that they will keep up attacks on Iran for the foreseeable future. Hundreds are dead. There have been more attacks today after American and Israeli strikes over the weekend sparked retaliation by Iran.
Iran was building powerful missiles and drones to create a conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Let me say that again. A conventional shield for their nuclear blackmail ambitions. Our bases, our people, our allies, all in their crosshairs. Iran had a conventional gun to our head as they tried to lie their way to a nuclear bomb.
Now, the conflict has widened today with Iran and Iranian-backed militias firing missiles at Israel and Arab states, hitting the U.S. Embassy compound in Kuwait. Now, this video shows a fighter jet in Kuwait falling from the sky. U.S. Central Command says 3 of its F-15 jets flying in support of Operation Epic Fury went down over Kuwait due to an apparent friendly fire incident. Now, the crews ejected and are all safe. In Saudi Arabia, heavy smoke could be seen billowing from an oil refinery after an Iranian drone strike there was reported. Meantime, the Iranian capital of Tehran was attacked again today with explosions erupting in multiple locations across the city. The regime's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was killed on Saturday. His death has now left a power vacuum, leaving political uncertainty in that country. The Iranian Red Crescent says at least 550 people have been killed across Iran since the start of the conflict. The U.S. military confirming 4 of its soldiers have also died. At least 11 people are dead in strikes in Israel. The CTV's Adrian Gobriel joins us now from Istanbul with more. Adrian, certainly again, we're seeing the escalations over the course of today and really this conflict spreading throughout the Middle East. Take us through the latest of what you have.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. You just went through some of those there with our viewers. Really, the tentacles of this conflict spreading throughout the region. We're here in Istanbul tonight, where many are watching just across the border to see what's taking place there. Turkey's a country that shares a 530-kilometer border with Iran, so lots of concern here tonight as many watch what's taking place. We mentioned what's taking place in Kuwait today. U.S. Embassy being hit, U.S. aircraft falling from the sky in what was being now called and confirmed as a friendly fire incident. Oil refineries in Saudi Arabia, natural gas plant in Qatar also being hit today. They've stopped distribution there for at least the day, and we're seeing a wider war. In Cyprus, there is a British air base there. There's concerns that multiple Iranian drones tried to hit that air base today. That now has the attention of Greece. Officials in Iran saying that they believe that the U.S. has moved a lot of their fighter jets to Cyprus, and so they're going to continue to target that region until those jets leave that region. So lots of concern here. With each passing hour, you're hearing another country. By my count, we're roughly at 9 countries now in the last 9 days that have been dragged into this. We saw Israel bombing Beirut today after Hezbollah fired rockets towards Israel. And so the conflict grows.
And it certainly is concerning, Adrian. You know, we've been talking a little bit about travel, about flights that are impacted. Some of them are now underway. But both Canada and the UK say they are not going to be directly involved in this conflict.
Yeah, that's right. And Stalmer in the UK today backing up that and actually being criticized a little bit by Donald Trump. However, the UK is saying that they will allow the US to use their air bases in this region for defensive purposes when it comes to knocking missiles out of the sky and helping allies in that regard. Canada is in favor of removing any nuclear threat from Iran, but that's really about as far as they have gone. And here in Turkey, the government has tried to pick no sides so far in this conflict as they try and remain neutral, though as this grows and this becomes ever more polarizing, more and more world leaders are weighing in.
Okay, CTV's Adrian Gobriel in Istanbul for us today. Thanks, Adrian, for this.
Thank you.
Meantime, oil prices have surged as the conflict in the Middle East expands. Brent crude, the global benchmark for oil prices,